Hello everyone. We are finishing out our week 4, and that means we are preparing for next week, week 5, which is our first exam. In order to make sure everyone is the best prepared that you can be, I wanted to provide this video to kind of go through where you can find different resources to make sure you're being successful in the course. So I know some of you are doing very well and some of you are putting in a lot of hours and working very hard. So I just wanted to let you know that I do recognize that, and I know that this class can be challenging. Keep putting in the work and it will pay off. All right, so if we go into our class, we talked about this week 1 in the introduction video, but I wanted to just kind of show you for each chapter, and we're going to go back and start with chapter 1, we can see that there's something called a web page provided. So in that web page, you're going to click into there, and it's going to provide you with the resources that we as the course designers thought were really important to help you be successful in the course. Now, with that said, you have to make sure that you're clicking through each of the things that are provided. So this is telling you the what we're learning, this is telling you why, what objectives we're meeting, and this is telling you how we're going to accomplish those objectives. Down below is where the resources are, and this is really important because this takes the place of what a lecture class would normally have. So you'll see for every chapter you have lecture videos. This is actually your instructor recording the lecture that we would normally do in a face-to-face class, so that whether you're in a face-to-face class, online, on Zoom, if you're remote for whatever reason, you can get the same information that we would in a traditional classroom. So when we look at these, you can see that there are several videos. They are broken down into less than 15 minutes for each video. So for chapter 1, there were 4 of them, which means it's less than an hour total of a lecture video that's being provided to help you be successful. If we scroll down below that, we see there's other resources in there as well. So we can see that there's working papers that are Excel documents that let you do the chapter problems if you want to do it outside of Connect. There's a cheat sheet that kind of summarizes the chapter and gives you some key concepts. And there's a Quizlet link that helps you practice the different account types for chapter 1. But the setup is the same for each chapter. So if we look at chapter 1, the format is the same. So we have that web page. That's what's really important to make sure you look at, because that's where all of the resources are. Below that, you see the McGraw-Hill link. This is where you can access your ebook, which I hope everyone has already been doing. But if you click on that link, it's going to take you to McGraw-Hill Connect, and you can access your ebook. So I'll show you what that looks like. If you clicked into Connect, you're going to see this. Over here to your left is your ebook. And then over here to the right are your assignments, whether they're graded or optional. And we're going to go over some of those in just a minute as well. So going back into here, then you're going to see your graded assignments that are linked in from Connect. So each chapter, you have a concept overview video that are due on Mondays. You have homework that is due on Thursdays. And you have a chapter quiz that is due on Fridays. So just make sure you're getting those assignments completed by their due dates. These are not the difficult assignments. Your exams are where you're really putting in that test of what you've learned. Most of these are not timed. The concept overview videos and the homework are neither one timed. The quiz is timed, but you have plenty of time to answer those questions. If we look at chapter 2, we see the same thing. We have a web page which has the different resources. I'm going to click into there just to kind of talk about those resources. We have the lecture videos. We also have the summary. We have a chart of accounts that's helpful in helping you determine the type of account, the financial statement it goes on, and what the normal balance is. There's another Quizlet to help you practice the type of account and normal balance. There's a handout here that helps you with the rules of debits and credits. There's another one here because everyone learns differently. And there's another resource here called an Edpuzzle that's going to help you learn as you go through and watch the video. So again, every chapter has resources that are meant to help you, in addition to the graded assignments that are mandatory. Same thing with chapter 3. Chapter 3, we can see that we have the videos, the lecture videos. We have a cheat sheet. We have Khan Academy practice. And we have a song that teaches us about debits on the left, credits on the right. All right. What I want to go into for this next one, this is to get you ready for your exams. This is where we're going to look at that next column down, the module that says Review/Exam. So in here, we click on here again, we see that review exam, the web page. That's where the resources that are going to help you review or get ready for the exam are going to be. So I'm going to click into there. If we look at these resources, we can see that first we have a study guide. So the study guide is a Word document so that you can go in, look at it, and add notes. This is what the Word document looks like. So it has the objectives that you need to know, and then it also tells you what kind of problem you need to be able to actually prepare on your exam. So when we did our homework, we had exercises where we keyed in journal entries. We may have answered questions about effects of transactions. We may have put things into charts. That's the kind of thing you're going to see on your exam as well. So in each chapter, it's telling you the types of things you need to know, the objectives, the problems you need to know how to do. So there's information there for chapter 1, 2, and 3. So that's our study guide. The next thing that we see is the SmartBook and Connect. Now this is where we can earn extra credit by completing the SmartBooks that we see in Connect. The SmartBooks are listed in there and they say optional because it is optional, but it's extra credit that you can get towards your exam. So the SmartBooks are there to help you review those reading and basic concepts that you're getting throughout each chapter. So there's, for this first exam, it's chapters 1, 2, and 3. So you can earn up to 6 extra credit points directly on your exam by completing the SmartBook and Connect. So I'm going to go into Connect and show you what you have to do for SmartBook. There was an orientation assignment in week 1 that showed you what to do, but in case you missed that or you just want to I want to make sure that you're clear on what to do, I'm going to show you. So when you go into our first unit, we have chapters 1, 2, and 3. We see our required assignments, and then we see a couple of optional things. So we have the optional need to know videos, which walks you through different practice, so they can be helpful. They are also located in your ebook, so you may have already seen those if you read through your book and watched the videos that are provided in there. The next thing is the optional extra credit. This is the SmartBook. This is where I'm talking about. Every chapter, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 have extra credit SmartBook exercises that you can do. Each chapter is worth 2 points on your exam. So I'm going to click into here and show you what it looks like and what you're going to do in those. Now again, remember, this is to help you review for each chapter. You can do these SmartBooks as we cover the chapters, or you can do them at the end of the unit when you're getting ready to take your exam. It's completely up to you. As long as you get them done, you get the points. I think it's great to look at them for review because it can be helpful in reminding you of what we did, 2 or 3 chapters ago. So here we go in here, we see that the extra credit is due the same time the exam is due. The exam is due Friday, October 1st by 11 p.m. The extra credit SmartBooks are due the same time. It tells you how long the estimated time to do this assignment. It says 40 minutes. Now that's going to be different for everyone. It depends on how well you know the material and if you answer the questions correctly. What it's going to do is if you answer it correctly, it's going to move on. If you answer it incorrectly, it's going to go to the next question and give you another way to prove that you know that concept. For chapter 1, there are 22 concepts that we want you to know. So down here, you can go into your ebook by clicking Start Reading. That's not what's going to get you the grade though. We want to go into Start Questions. That's how you're going to complete it. And it tells you here that you're going to make progress by completing concepts. The number of questions will vary depending on your individual needs. So if you demonstrate that you've mastered the concept, you're going to move on to the next concept. For this one, it's okay to get it wrong. You can still earn 100% if you complete all the concepts by your due date. To submit the answer, we're actually going to, there's not a submit button for the question. You're going to rate your confidence on the level of how you feel you understand that question. That's what's going to submit and go to the next question and tell you if you're right or wrong. So I'm going to click Got It, and I'm going to go into the first question. So it says here, identify what accounting is by selecting the correct statement. So they give us 3 statements here. We have to choose the correct one. And it says, the first one says, accounting information impacts internal users only. Well, we know that's not true because we read about internal and external users for accounting. The next one says, accounting is a system that identifies, records, and communicates financial information. That sounds about accurate, but let's see what the last one says. It says accounting information is primarily used only at the end of the year when tax returns and financial statements are prepared. And we know that's not true. We enter accounting information all year long, and we run financial statements all year long, depending on the business. So we know this answer is going to be the middle one. However, let's say we were unsure about the question and we had no idea what the answer is. Down here it says need help, review the concept resources. So you can click read about the concept and it's going to take you to that part in the book that deals with what it's asking you. You'll see that there's sections that are highlighted yellow, and that's going to help you find those answers that you may not know. To go back and answer the question, you're going to hit 2 questions and it's going to take you back. Now that I know I've answered it, I've selected it, but to submit it, you're going to go down here to the bottom where it says rate your confidence to submit your answer. Well, I'm highly confident that this one is correct, so I'm going to click high. Now just remember, whether you click high, medium, or low, it doesn't matter. That's not affecting your grade in any way, shape, or form. So let's click low just because it doesn't matter. So it's telling us here that we got it correct, and we'll see up here in these bars that our concepts start to be filled in. So there's 22 total, and it's testing our knowledge. Once we've done that one, we can hit next question, and it's going to go to the next one. This one is a fill in the blank, where it's asking us to type either internal or external. So it says users who do not directly run the organization have limited access to accounting information are called internal or external users. Well, if they're not directly running the organization, we know that that is external. But if we didn't know, again, we can click into that read about it and it takes us to external users and it says, do not directly run the organization for external. So that can help us as well. Go back to questions. I'm going to submit it by saying that I'm highly confident I got it correct, and you see another bar is marked. That's what you're doing throughout this. If you complete it, you will get the extra credit. You don't have to do all 3 chapters, but I do encourage it. So I'm going to exit out of this assignment. You can go in and out of it as many times as you want to. You just have to make sure you submit it by October 1st at 11 p.m. All right, going back to our other review information. So we have a video here that makes sure that you understand how to look at your previous assignments, because that's another important part of reviewing. Go back and look what you've done. Make sure you review back to chapters 1 and 2. It's been a while since we've done those. So make sure you're familiar with all 3 chapters. There are also Quizlet reviews here. So there's a Quizlet to help you practice the terminology in chapter 1, 2, and 3. It's set up to do matching, but if you click this bottom right, you can choose what study mode you want to do. So you could just do flashcards if you wanted to. It's going to take you to that. And you can just study the terminology that way. But there's different methods you can use to study. Again, use this as you see fit. If you need more help in one chapter than another, focus on that. Then at the very bottom, there is a Kahoot review. It focuses mainly on chapters 1 and 2, but it's just another game that will help you review those concepts. So that's what's in that web page with the resources that you need for our first exam. Again, the other thing that is important, the link to the exam is in that same tab under review exam. You see chapter 1, 2, 3 exam. It is due by October 1st at 11 p.m. To kind of go over what the requirements are for your exam, I'm going to go into this McGraw-Hill Connect. I'm going to look at the assignment information that we've seen before, and I'm going to click on exam so you can see the parameters that are set up for your exam. So all exams are timed for 2 hours. You get 1 attempt. So once you start, you do have to finish. You can't go out of it. If you exit out of it, it's going to close your exam and submit it. And there is no check my work permitted for those. So again, you have 2 hours. For this exam, you have 25 questions. Now that is some multiple choice and some that you're going to be doing problems like we did in the homework. So just make sure you prepare well. Make sure you go back and review all the chapters that we've covered so far and that you're comfortable with that material. So we have chapters 1, 2, and 3 in this first exam. And remember, it is due the 1st, October 1st by 11 p.m. If you have any questions before then, please feel to reach out to me. Also, if you go to my instructor information, if you have questions and you want to make an appointment with me, whether it's Zoom, by phone, or whatever, my link to the calendar is directly in there and you can do that as well. Good luck on your first exam, and please feel free to reach out if you have questions before or after. Have a great weekend.